Good evening and welcome to another episode of your daily show Achievements. I'm your host Fatma Al-Hadri, and this evening I'm joined by my colleague Abdul Latif Al-Anizzi. Good evening, Abdul Latif.
Good evening, Fatma, and as my co-host mentioned, we are hosts and we will take you through this episode, so stay tuned after this report.
A successful identity is built on things a person has done. Your most important accomplishments are a very important way for you to measure your success. Colleagues, competitors, and the general public can look at a person's achievements to figure out how successful they are. Most of the time, putting in a lot of work pays off. Most people think a successful life is one of a lot of things to be proud of. When you finish a task, you win over problems or other people. Achieve means to work together to reach a hard and challenging goal. Everyone should be ready to help out and work together if they need to. There are many ways to reach your goal, but in the end, it's up to you to decide how it will pay out in your life. In their careers, some people want to get rich and will be well known. Some people think that even small victories are reasons to have a party. We're all different, so we all have our own thoughts on everything. In the end, though, everyone wants to be happy, and everything you do in life will help you to get closer to that ultimate goal.
Welcome back, our viewers. Tonight we're having with us one of the most successful individuals in Kuwait. He has achievement is not just in Kuwait but all around the world. He is known as a fighter and he participated in a lot of championships and he won most of them. He achieved a lot for himself and for his country. Please welcome with us Mr. Nasser Abdel Karim. Welcome, Mr. Nasser, and thank you for being here with us.
Of course. First of all, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be with you guys.
It's our pleasure to have you.
So, can you tell us about your early steps on your field?
So yeah, I started the sport in back 2013. I was 18 years old by back day. And so when I moved to the States, was for school, Los Angeles to be exact. So I found a jiu-jitsu gym nearby my apartment. So and by that time I know what jiu-jitsu is. Like I've seen videos, I've seen like a lot of competitions of it. So I decided to give it a try, and from there I fell in love with that sport.
So what really made you choose? You mentioned that you fell in love with the jiu-jitsu. So can you tell us about the beginning, like in the first times of training specifically? Because I think sometimes when you first play the game, it can be a little bit aggressive, it can be hard, tricky. So when you started, what made you feel like, I love this game, I'm just gonna go for it, I'm gonna work out, this is gonna be my sport?
So jiu-jitsu, like the most important thing in jiu-jitsu is the technique. Like we always say, technique conquers all. Like you don't have to be at a certain weight, you don't have to be at a certain strength or certain height. Like I was skinny back then, so jiu-jitsu is perfect for everyone. So that's why I loved it, and also from the vibes I had from the people in the gym, like people I started training with, the coaches, the training partners, they made me fall in love more with the sport because they always love to compete, and the coach loved to compete, they always win, so they pushed me forward into that sport.
I think it's important to have this kind of support.
And you need it.
Yes, of course.
Also on your journey. So can you tell us, like, can I start jiu-jitsu maybe from not a young age, like when I'm 27 or 28?
Jiu-jitsu, like it's an endless journey. It doesn't have like specific age. Let me tell you a quick story. So one time back in the States, there is a guy, he used to be like 67 years old. He used to bring his grandchildren to the gym to train. And by bringing his grandchildren, he loved the sport and he decided to give it a try. And by the age of 75, he got his black belt. So he's by 75, imagine, like, so.
He got the black belt.
Yeah, so it's an endless journey, like, as I said, because the sport, like, it focuses on technique. So you don't have to be like at a certain age, certain like height, weight, strength. So that's a good thing about it.
You can start like whenever you want.
Yeah. Like also sometimes I see like the mom, the dad, the children, all come and train together. So that's what specializes this sport.
Of course. What about your first competition? I can see you have a lot of medals right here on the table.
Mashallah, yeah.
It's very impressive and we're very proud of your achievements. So can you tell us about your first competition? What was that like?
Yeah, the jiu-jitsu gym that I was at, people love to compete over there. They love like to go out and win. So just by maybe I would say 3 weeks of training, my first competition was just from 3 weeks of training. Like I wanted to experience it It was in Los Angeles back in 2013. So I remember I got the bronze medal. I won one fight and lost one fight. So it was really good experience for like for 3 weeks, you know.
It's a lots of experience also.
Yeah. So
I mean, you participate in a lots of championships, right?
yeah. So yeah, I always love to challenge my fears, and I love to be in pressure and just challenge it, you know. So that's what I like to do. Yeah.
So how many championships you've been joined so far?
I can count, like maybe more than 100, because where I was training at and where I was living at back in Los Angeles, it's the, like, I would say it's the capital of jiu-jitsu in the world. Like sometimes we used to have like competitions every weekend. So I used to compete sometimes every weekend, just study all week and just compete every weekend. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. I just keep it going, you know.
Did it help you?
And at the end of the day in jiu-jitsu, we say there's no losing in jiu-jitsu. You either win or you will learn. So it's a perfect sport.
This is the magic thing about it.
I think it's a very interesting point you mentioned. It's the capital of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Is that why you went to study there?
No,
Oh
actually.
yeah, that's
Because
a good question.
you love jiu-jitsu, you're so passionate about it. It kind of made sense to me that you might have went there just for.
No, actually, like I do like other martial arts. My both brothers also was into martial arts, but different sport. So they used to also live in Los Angeles, California. So yeah,
So I didn't go there
because
for
of the
jiu-jitsu.
family.
Yeah, I started jiu-jitsu in the States. I didn't do any jiu-jitsu like before. So yeah.
And maybe is this one of the reasons that you participate in a lot of championships is because that you went to Los Angeles?
Yeah,
And you
actually,
found
yeah.
it there.
Because if you go like let's say states like Idaho or Missouri, you won't find competitions, you know. Like I think most of the gyms there are like business gyms, not competition gym. So the gym that I had the luck to train at, it was nearby my apartment. So and it was competition gym, and it was one of the biggest jiu-jitsu schools of the whole world, just by luck, you know.
And so if you went to maybe Ohio State, this way you wouldn't be Nasser, you wouldn't be in jiu-jitsu right now.
Yeah.
You would maybe take a whole another career.
Honestly, yeah, because I think like I won't find like much competitions there, and it's gonna be a bit hard for me to fly to other states. And you know, United States is really big. Sometimes it takes too long to fly to other place. Like California was a perfect place because you can find like just 15 minutes drive, 5 minutes drive to like competition every weekend. So that's the good thing about it.
You mentioned earlier also you have your brothers, they also are into martial arts.
Yeah.
So what kind of martial arts is it?
They did. Actually, my brother he's the founder of wrestling in Kuwait. It's called freestyle wrestling. You know, they have like the kind of tank top and they wrestle. Like he also brought it from the States and brought it to Kuwait. Also, yeah, he's a member of the national team. So yeah,
That's
good.
impressive.
yeah. So he
So you
also
have
competes in the United States too. So yeah.
So
Yes.
whoever mentioned it, you say, okay, my brother, he did it. He
Yeah,
brought
but
it here.
I chose a different sport.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's nice to have like the whole family,
Yeah, yeah.
like a sibling or anyone really
Yeah.
to have this kind of connection with, especially in this kind of
Increased, yeah.
sports.
It's increased the connection between you and the family members.
Yeah. So
I mean, me and my family members, we don't have anything in common.
Ah.
We don't have, like, I do a whole different hobby. They do a different thing. They are more into IT. I'm more like into gym and ice hockey.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. So what you are doing also with your family members, I think it's really
I
special.
have two bigger brothers, and they both also do martial arts. So, like, since we were children, we like action and martial arts, Jackie Chan movies. So we still like fight each other all the time.
Yeah, I
so,
like the
yeah.
Jackie Chan movie. It's actually
They were
what-
really nice movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
all of it. So, what's your favorite competition and championship that you went so far?
It's actually this big one. It's the World Championship. It happens like every year. It usually happens in Los Angeles. So I competed in this tournament like 4 times, but I won the 4th one. I won the gold. The good thing about this tournament, because most tournaments, when you fight, you just represent yourself. But this tournament, you have to represent a country. So when I won, they had the Kuwaiti flag on the big screen. So it feels good, like to put the Kuwait on the big map. Like people know what Kuwait is from watching me compete. So everyone was shocked, and they never knew like there was Kuwaiti athletes competing. So it felt really special to me.
Now we won some competitions in Brazil. We won the World Championship in Jiu-Jitsu, as we know. And thank you for raising our country's
thank you.
name.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Of
think
course,
it's really
we're very
wonderful.
proud of you, and we're really proud of your achievements. And I think it takes a lot of preparation, a lot of dedication to do that.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you for the hard work.
Sure, thank you. very much.
So you won until now 2 black belts, 1 in France and 1 in Qatar. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Can you tell us how you feel?
So yeah, this year, because I got my black belt back 2021, but I started competing hard like this year. So yeah, the first tournament I did in Qatar, I had a super fight with some guy from Brazil. So the guy was very experienced person. First of all, the tournament was so amazing. It was organized by the Qatar Jiu-Jitsu Federation and by Sheikh Fahad Al-Thani. He's doing an amazing job organizing Qatar and Kuwait. Amazing Jiu-Jitsu in Qatar. So yeah, I had a fight with some, like he was way more experienced than me in a fight. So I managed to win by points. And the other tournament in Paris, it was actually 2 weeks ago. I fought like an upcomer star. He's from Finland. He was so technical. So we had a like 8-minute fight, but I managed to win by footlock at the last few seconds.
The footlock.
Yeah.
Is it like when you shoot his head?
No, it's, you grab his foot and you just do a specific technique to try to break it. Yeah. Okay. So I love to fight the best, to experience myself, to challenge myself. It's always been said, to be the man, you have to beat the man. So yeah.
So how long does it usually take you to prepare for these kind of competitions or these kind of fights? I'm sure it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it depends on the kind of tournament. Sometimes it's small. Actually, this build is a small tournament. So yeah, sometimes if it's a small tournament, I would just like train once a day, and train three times a week, strength and conditioning. And if it's a big tournament, it takes me like 3 months to prepare for it. Let's say like the World Championship, I train twice a day, Jiu-Jitsu, and 3 times a week, strength and conditioning, and dieting, it has to be on point, you know? That's the worst part for me because I like to eat, I like cookies, and I like junk food.
Me too.
So it's the tough part for me, you know? So,
of course, I think it can be very hard for a lot of athletes to control that kind of side because of the food. The food is amazing here in Kuwait.
Why you looked at me when you said the food? Because the food.
Because you're always talking about food, yes. And earlier he was talking to me about
the problem with the food.
I can't handle my meals. I really need to focus. What do I do?
Especially I'm in the States, you know, so I have to cook my own meals. Broccoli and like dry food, that's all I have to eat, you know. So
yes, of course it can be very hard.
Yeah.
It is.
But I enjoy the grind, I enjoy the journey, so it's part of the game.
Of course, we still have a lot more questions for you, but dear viewers, we will take a short break and we'll be right back.
Nasser Abdel Karim is a mixed martial arts player. At a young age, he has managed to pursue his goal and follow his dreams. He has worked hard almost every day in order to reach his target. Nasser has managed to achieve many victories and medals. In 2015, Nasser won the NAGA first place and earned the Blue Belt Championship in Las Vegas, United States of America. In addition, in 2017, he has also won the first place in NABGGF Championship in Las Vegas and earned the Blue Belt as well. In 2016 and 2017, during the Grand Slam Championship in Los Angeles, Nasser was able to win the third place and earn the Blue Belt.
We are at the Jiu-Jitsu Academy. This is our hyper place. This is where we do the training, Jiu-Jitsu training usually at. So today we're going to do some various techniques of Jiu-Jitsu and we're going to do some sparring rounds at the end. So come with us.
He has won the purple belt during the JJWL Championship held in Las Vegas and was able to achieve the first place. In 2019, during the IPJJF Orange County Championship, Nasser won the third place and was able to receive the brown belt. In the same year, he managed to achieve a huge accomplishment by winning the first place in the World Championship SGGIF tournament, where he has also earned the brown belt during that tournament. Nasser did not stop here. He earned the first place in NABJJF tournament that was also held in Los Angeles. In the year 2021, in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Nasser joined the Asian Championship and accomplished the third place. During the same year of 2021, he won the first place in Naga, Colorado and earned the brown belt. Nasser always wanted to prove himself and achieve a higher win. Therefore, he received the black belt under the legendary Brazilian coach Romulo Barral. Moreover, this year Nasser won the first place in the States of Qatar JJC Super Fight and earned the black belt. Recently, Nasser has won the first place in IBJJF Championship in Paris. Nasser is eager and passionate about this hobby and aims for the best always. He puts his whole effort in his practices for tournaments in order to achieve his specific goal. He is a professional and an expert in what he does.
Welcome back, our viewers, as we continue our interview with our guest, Nasser. So, Nasser, can you tell us about your best time to do what you love?
So I think the morning is the best time, like maybe by 9 a.m., 10 a.m. So if you see like the big schools, the best schools in the world, like in Japan, United States, Brazil, they usually do especially the competition training in the mornings. I think it's the best time to do the training. So even sometimes like I wake up late, I just get a banana and a coffee, I just go straight to training. So I think the morning training is the best. Yeah.
Of course, I completely agree with you. I think it's a lot better to work out in the morning.
Yeah.
You have a lot more energy. Even like the energy after the workout, you feel a lot better the whole day.
Yeah, exactly.
So, of course, when it comes to this kind of sport, we can tell it's kind of aggressive. So, how is the family support and the friend support, especially with this kind of sport?
Like, yeah, everybody's supportive as long as I don't get injured. But yeah, it's not as like dangerous as you think. Like, because jiu-jitsu is not for competition, it's for everything. Like it's for like to lose weight, to stay fit, self-defense. So it's for a lot of things. And jiu-jitsu, whenever you get hurt or whenever you feel tired, all you have to do is tap the floor. It's like tap out, that's it. Nothing happens more, you know?
This will means that you are surrendered.
Yeah.
Right?
So as long as, whenever you feel the pain, whenever you feel tired, you just have to tap the floor.
Have you ever did it?
Yeah, it's part of the game. Sometimes I get choked or get like foot locked. I just tap, you know. That's it.
But of course, when you do that, that means you are lost. But you didn't lost the whole career. You just lost one game, and it's a lesson, right?
And as I said, like there's no losing in jiu-jitsu. You either win or you learn. So
of course,
Yeah.
you gain experience,
Yeah, so-
learn more about the moves of the component.
Yeah, so-
I think there's a lot of different people, especially in the game of jiu-jitsu, from
Yeah.
different cultures, different backgrounds. So you kind of even learn that kind of side of them as well.
yeah, so like when if you count my record, sometimes things don't go my way, but I don't see it as losing. I see it as learning, experiencing. You know, that's what I see it. Yeah.
So you have trainees, right?
Yeah.
You have a lot of trainees.
Yeah.
Can you tell us who's your favorite?
Okay, my favorite training partner, he's not in Kuwait, he's in the United States. His name is Pedro Serrano. He's like me and him. We started jiu-jitsu together. We were like at the same weight. We did all the training together. We push each other forward to the limit. So he's like by far my favorite, you know.
So who's the person that motivates you and keeping you pushing forward?
It's my coach, Humul Bahal. He always pushes us, like he gives us good words for our mindset. He train us hard. Always was there for us when you want to ask him a question. So he's always like our motivation and a big influence on my career in jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
And of course, since you have that coach, which is actually, I think it's one of the most necessary things, that you have the perfect coach for you, that who maybe shares the same personality. So you don't have any conflicts about the time. Whenever he said, whatever he said, you just want to do what he wants.
So whatever I learned from my coach, we don't call coach, we say professor. Whenever whoever someone who has a black belt, we call him a professor. We don't call him a coach. So yeah, whatever I learned from my coach, that's what I'm doing right now with my students. I want my students to follow the same footsteps that what I walked in. So yeah.
And of course, there are steps, and you are following these steps.
Yeah.
And how is everything going so far?
It's going perfectly. Yeah. My students, I start to compete, winning, so I'm happy to see that, you know.
So do you have fears in general?
Yeah, like both like competing and coaching. Actually, I also have fears. Like I feel like I'm competing whenever I see my students compete, you know. So it's part of the game.
So how is the experience now that you're actually teaching and not just fighting? It's completely different, I'm sure. So what is it like?
Yeah, it's perfect. Like I love it. Like I love each part of it. Like especially like kids class, it's amazing when we see them learn, and whenever you teach them the technique and they do the technique completely right. I'm happy to see that, you know. So yeah, like some kids, I want, like in the beginning they were like scared, but I'm so happy to see that like they're gaining like self-confidence.
They gain the courage.
Yeah, so it's really amazing to see that, you know.
What about the difficulties with training? I think sometimes, you know, with kids especially, it can be sometimes easy, sometimes it can be tricky.
Yeah.
Some of them need motivation. So I'm sure there's a lot of
Yes,
there is a lot of even struggles with being actually teaching them these kind of sports. So what
Yeah.
are some of the challenges
Yeah,
you faced?
sometimes the kids, they like scream and run around, But I try not to be hard on them. Like, it's not like when I teach them jiu-jitsu, it's not all about jiu-jitsu. Sometimes we play ball, we play like soccer, I play like dodgeball, So just make them enjoy the training more.
Change the mood a little bit.
Yeah. So that's what I like to do. We do like a lot of we play around a lot.
So how do you manage your time with working and being a professional athlete and even teaching jiu-jitsu? It must have been like a very busy schedule for you.
Right now I don't sleep much. So I work, I teach private, I teach jiu-jitsu to my students, and sometimes I try like train also, and also I don't also have to train jiu-jitsu. Sometimes I do train some other stuff like strength conditioning, because I have to have good strength for jiu-jitsu, good conditioning for jiu-jitsu. So, but I've been managing good. I've been doing a good job.
You're managing your time well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's a good
when I
thing.
was a student back in the States, it used to be a bit harder because like I have a lot of classes in one day. So training, I just going to school.
Also, you have some. There are some exams, so you have
Yeah,
to study.
yeah. So
Yes,
it was
of course.
so tough and competing, dieting, But I
But
enjoyed
after
that
school,
journey.
everything will go
Yeah.
perfectly how you planned.
Yeah. So yeah, it's part of the journey. I enjoy it. So yeah.
So it's not that common to see jiu-jitsu players here in Kuwait. Can you tell us why?
Because I think some parents, some people think it's dangerous. It's not as they think. It's actually now growing in Kuwait. We have more than 20 gyms in Kuwait, actually. We have people competing, flying out and winning. So I think the jiu-jitsu should be recognized more. Like the UAE, the UAE right now, they're having jiu-jitsu programs in schools. They're having jiu-jitsu programs in the military. So Sheikh Tahnoun is doing an amazing job with jiu-jitsu. He loves jiu-jitsu. So I hope one day we can do like the same as the UAE in jiu-jitsu.
Do you think that some way we can also raise the awareness? Do you have maybe a plan to how raise the awareness about jiu-jitsu?
If most of the jiu-jitsu guys who go to jiu-jitsu, who they are troublemaker, like jiu-jitsu would take them away from problems, from troubles, because it teaches you like the right way to use like fighting, to use martial arts, which is, I think, I hope people would see this kind of go into martial arts and take them away from the bad stuff,
Of course, I think this is a very good point. If you get all your energy in the sports, especially like jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
martial arts, you really get a better energy in return.
Yeah,
so you
of
get
course.
all this negative energy during the fight or self-defense. There's a lot of different technique where it's like an outlet for you.
Yeah, of course, so true. Yeah.
Yes, of course, Nasser, we still have a lot more questions for you, but dear viewers, we will take a short break and we'll be right back.
The things a person has done make up his or her identity. One of the most important ways to measure your success is by looking at your most important accomplishments. Colleagues, competitors, and the general public can tell how successful a person is by looking at what they have done. Most of the time, it pays off to work hard. Most people think that having a lot to be proud is a sign of a successful life. When you finish a task, you beat problems or other people to achieve something. People have to work together to reach a difficult goal. If help is needed, everyone should be ready to pitch in and work together. There are many ways to reach a goal, but in the end, it's up to you to decide how it will affect your life. Some people want to be rich and well known on their jobs. Some people think that even small wins are good reasons to throw a party. We are all different, so we all think differently about everything. In the end, though, everyone wants to be happy, and everything you do in life will help you to get closer to that goal.
Welcome back, our viewers, as we continue our interview with our guest, Nasser. So, Nasser, can you tell us who is your biggest critic?
It's my coach and also my teammates sometimes, because in jiu-jitsu, like, you never learn enough. There's always something new to learn. So even sometimes when you make mistakes, feel free to listen, even if they're wrong. So I always love to listen. That's why my coach, my coach taught us. So I think it's the right thing. Like, you know, yeah.
And of course, it's sometimes when you have that person who criticize you at every move that you are doing wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's also motivate you to help you to go through also, right?
Like some people won't like that, but I think it's wrong. It's actually, yeah, it motivates me. Like, it helps me to learn more and and to see like what I need to learn, what's my mistakes. So
Of
I
course.
think, yeah.
Sometimes, you know, there's some certain areas you're not aware of, like you can like improve yourself in.
Maybe you don't see it, but someone else sees it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think this is a very important point. So have you actually tried different kind of sports other than jiu-jitsu, like taekwondo, karate, or was it always just jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I've tried kickboxing before jiu-jitsu actually. I don't like it as much as the jiu-jitsu. Actually, I don't like the strikes. The strikes is the punching, the kicking, the kneeing, elbowing. So I don't like it because
Do you think it was too aggressive?
Too aggressive, you know?
Yes.
I always say it's all fun until you get punched in the face. So I think that it's fun. Like those kind of sports are more dangerous than jiu-jitsu. You should know that, you know, because jiu-jitsu, as I said, like whenever you get hurt, whenever you feel like tired, you tap out, you know. So you just tap.
So it's easier.
Grappling,
yes,
the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, grappling.
Like
Yeah. Same as judo, same as wrestling.
Kickboxing, I think it's way more dangerous. So if you tried it, I mean, like one strike, you may go down.
Yeah, and like I did amateur kickboxing. That's when you have the headgear, the shin guards, but you still get injured. Like I was getting injured way than like jiu-jitsu, you know, way more.
So do you think that someday you will switch your career maybe to another sport?
No, I don't think so. Like
why?
I wouldn't choose jiu-jitsu over anything. Jiu-jitsu is like it's technique. I like the technique. The most important thing is its technique. So that's what makes jiu-jitsu special. I fell in love with it, you know. So.
Of course. So can you share some of the highlights of this journey?
So the best highlight is that tournament, the big one, the World Championship. It was so special to me because it was streamed live. I had my family, my close friends see it in Kuwait while I was in the States. And also I competed in front like big crowd, like more than like thousands of people. Big venue. It's one of the most famous venues in Los Angeles. So and then when I won, they had the Kuwaiti flag and the big screen. So yeah, it meant a lot to me.
I think it's amazing to actually have your family watch you from a live stream. I think that can be very encouraging, and even for them, it's an amazing experience to see you.
So like I think it's the best. Like I still remember this. It was back 2019. So yeah, it's for sure like the best highlight of my career.
And you will never forget it. But also you have some of the highlights maybe when you are travel to another country to join a competition.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's also an opportunity to explore these countries or cities?
Yeah, like whenever I go and compete, the styles are different. Let's say I go to some place in Europe, and I just went to France. The style of the fighter was different. I go to the States, the style of the fighters are different.
How?
So
is there maybe changing the rules? I don't think.
No, like let's say jiu-jitsu, you can play something called guard, is when you sit. Sometimes when we play like on top and just try to do for a takedown, try for a takedown. Every fighter has his own technique, but most Americans like they have the similar style of fighting. But when you go to Europe, they have different style. I like to go to the takedowns more, you know. So
and it's an opportunity also to take these techniques and maybe combine it.
Yeah, experience it and see like experience yourself, challenge yourself, and see like experience the new techniques, the new like styles. So
receiving the black belt from the legendary coach Hamul Bahar, I think I spelled his name right correctly.
Yeah.
So how is that felt for you when you take that belt from him?
Like I'm really blessed. It's like I'm honored to be receiving the black belt under him. Like Hamul Bahar, I would say he's the Cristiano Ronaldo of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So like
that's big.
Yeah. So imagine like he was living like I had his gym was nearby my apartment. It was so amazing, you know. I feel like so lucky. He's like he motivated me since day one. He had big influence in me. So like just getting the black belt under him, like it's amazing.
Of course. So do you think you have achieved all your goals, or you still have more goals to achieve?
So yeah, my goals is to compete in Japan, because Japan is like the birthplace of like martial arts, and also to compete in Brazil because jiu-jitsu is a Brazilian sport. My goal is to compete there. So and win like gold medal over there. And also one of my goals right now is to compete alongside with my students and have one of my students win the big tournaments, World Championship. So that's what I'm focusing on right now.
Of course. So when it comes to this kind of championships, what's your next goal to achieve it? Like, is there a specific target you have to reach when it comes to practice? When is the next competition that you can join in?
Right now, I'm focusing on the World Championship. It's going to be in Las Vegas in December. So, yeah, I'm getting ready for it from now. So I'm pushing myself harder. Yeah, I'm going to start dieting soon, which is the worst part. But yeah, that's my next goal and my next target.
Best of luck. I
Thank
think
you.
it can be very hard preparing
Thank
for
you.
these kind of championships.
Inshallah, you will come.
But
with-
hopefully you'll win the gold medal,
Yeah,
and
Allah,
we'll have you
absolutely.
back here, of course,
Inshallah.
for
Okay,
this
thank you.
amazing achievement.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. But for sure, I'm gonna have like tournaments like before, just to warm up, I would say. Because you know, right now UAE's jiu-jitsu is big there. They have tournaments like I would say every weekend, same as California. If in the Middle East, UAE is the capital right now. So
Have you been to their competitions yet?
yeah, they host the Asian Championship every year. Yeah, I have a few medals from the UAE, so it's amazing. They do an amazing job. So
And of
UAE
course, you are proud of it.
yeah, it's not.
We're very proud
It's
of
not
them.
far, you know. So that's
Yeah.
a good thing about it, you know.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Of course, it was really a pleasure to have you here with us and
Thank you.
achievements. Unfortunately, we're the end of our time for this show. So is there something you would like to add for your viewers?
So I have fun with you guys in the interview. So it's a pleasure, and I look back to come back sometime, you know. So
It's our pleasure, of course. Thank
It
you so
is.
much for being here with us.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, and also thank you to come and to know and learn more about you and about your personality. And thank you for one last time for rising our country's name. It's really wonderful.
Welcome. You're welcome. It's a mission for me. Yeah.
Thank
It's a mission
you.
to raise the flag of the big leagues. Yeah.
Dear viewers, we have reached the end of our time for this episode. We hope to see you again tomorrow. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.